Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm sorry for this review being really late. I've been sick and dying for the past few days, but I'm gonna try to tackle 699 and 700 all together. It's gonna be a long review as always. But anyway, let's get into it. I'm gonna try to space it out properly and just throw the information out there so it doesn't take too long. But bear with me, guys, and thank you for everybody who's watching this still, even though it's late. Anyways, 699 starts off with Naruto Sasuke still collapsed on the ground, and we see that the arms and hand of Hashirama and Madara statue they're laying on forms the little ninja, not ninja peace sign, but a little finger hug handshake thing that Naruto and Sasuke always do at the end of their fights. We see that it does that. It's a nice, symbolism to the Ashura Indra transmigration finally coming to an end because Naruto and Sasuke are finally friends again. And we see that Kakashi and Sakura finds them in the Valley of the End. I don't know how. It's a very good question. I guess the better question is how did these guys survive bleeding out for an entire day? But I'm not going into that. Anyways, and we see Sakura jumps down to heal them, and Sasuke mans up. He says something that you would never expect to hear from Sasuke. He tells Sakura that he's sorry, and that he's sorry for everything he's done up to this point. And it just hits Sakura, and she just starts crying. And she says, "You better be, because you caused a lot of trouble." And we even see Kakashi get a flashback of the past of Team 7 first meeting in the classroom, and Naruto pulling the prank, driving the not chakra, the chalkboard eraser on top of his head. And we see Kakashi pull down his headband because he's crying because he's happy that Team 7 is finally back. And Naruto and Sasuke put an end to the Infinite Tsukuyomi. They combined their only remaining arms to release Infinite Tsukuyomi. And we see everybody coming out of it. We see Tsunade, we see Onuki, all the Hokage. We see Guy, and I think Guy still lost his left leg. It's not his left leg, his right leg. We see Orochimaru, we see Tenten, Kabuto. We see everybody being released, and we get a nice panel of just Naruto on one side releasing everybody, and Sasuke on the other side releasing everybody. It's just nice. And Sasuke, I feel that it's right that Sasuke give this epilogue to this story. Although, granted, it should be Naruto because the name of the manga is Naruto, but I feel like Sasuke did a good job in this. And in this panel reading, he says, "We were alone and starved of love, kids that live in a world full of hate." And he just talking about him and Naruto's past and how much they've changed, how much they've come to this point. And in this same panel, it's something interesting that I don't completely understand. We see Yamato. Actually, never mind. I do understand. We see Yamato come from the Infinite Tsukuyomi, and we see the wooden Toby mask. Sorry. We see the wooden Toby armor try to retake Yamato, but it just fades from existence. I guess because Madara is gone, and that Yamato lost his connection to being controlled by Madara or Obito, whoever it was that was controlling him. We even see Darui brings back I don't remember her name, but a bunch of the Cloud Village storm ninjas that was still away in the Sage's Gorge. So it's just a nice happy ending. And we see Sasuke release Bijus, and surprisingly, just Kurama just smiling because I guess he expected Naruto to be able to save Sasuke and him. And we go from happy straight to sad. We see a funeral. I guess it's a funeral for everybody who passed, but mainly the grave that we see that everybody is mourning over is Neji, which it's really sad, and it's been spoiled already, but we already knew Kakashi was going to become the next Hokage after Tsunade, and we see that because we see his face, carved into the mountain, and he tells Sasuke like, you realize you should be in prison for life for everything you've done. And the only reason you're not is because the actions I've took as Hokage, and because you helped, end Infinite Tsukuyomi. Not only that, but because Naruto's word as well, which is nice, and it's just different to see Sasuke like this, because Sasuke is actually just listening to Kakashi's word. Because normally Sasuke don't have, let people just talk to him in this firm, demanding way, but he understands his situation, and that he really should be grateful. And we see that Sasuke is about to go on a trip. He's about to leave the village, and Sakura, she tried to ask him, did he want to wait so now they can finish his artificial arm made from Senju DNA, because we know Hashirama cells can cure anything at this point. It's a cure for AIDS, it's a cure for cancer, it's a cure for Ebola, it's a cure for every fucking thing. I'm just gonna throw that out there. But Sasuke tells him that he needs to see the world for himself, how the world looks right now, since he still has this sense of clarity from Naruto's and Sasuke fight. He fears that, I guess, he might fall down the path of darkness again, and he just wants to see the world for how it is right now, while he can see it clearly. And I guess also just, not having his left arm, just a reminder to the crimes he made, and just, I think it goes that deep, to be honest. And Sakura pulls another act from part one, where she asks Sasuke, can she go alone with him? And he tells her that this is his road to redemption. This has nothing to do with his sins or his own. And we see that she gets depressed by that. And this is a nice nod. He walks up to her and he taps her on the forehead like Itachi always does him, and says, I'll see you soon. And you can tell on her face, her panties just dropped. Just joking. Moving on. And he thanks her one last time, just like in part one, for everything she's done. And basically at the end of the chapter, we see Naruto waiting for Sasuke, because Sasuke is leaving, and Sasuke is shocked. He says, I didn't think you would come. And he tells him that, well, basically he looks at Naruto's arm and he realizes just about all his actions. He says, you fought to stop me to the point you lost an arm, all because you were my friend, and because of that you saved me. It's so different to see Sasuke like this. And the reason why I like Sasuke giving this epilogue is because Sasuke has a lot of talking to make up for this whole series, because he never talked nothing but insanity and about killing people. So it's nice to see some sense of clarity and sanity coming from his mouth every now and then. And that in the next panel he says, the us that fought and quarreled over the smallest things are now able to share the pain in each other's heart. That on my journey around the world, I noticed that all these feelings of mine aren't just about us. I'm sure it's the same for everyone else, but there aren't a lot of people like you, and things won't always go as planned. Look at us. We're prime examples of that. It's especially true when it comes to bigger things. And that he believes that people can share the bonds him and Naruto share, although it won't be, as well, or even if it's bigger than that, things won't always go as planned. And we see Naruto hands over Sasuke's old headband from part one, the one with the claw mark, and Sasuke just still giving the apple. I says, I think it's the same as praying, and until I can do it, I'll stay strong. Beings that have been entrusted with hope, that's us, me and Naruto, and that is what makes us ninja. And I just love that. And we see Sasuke accepts his old handband and tells him, I'll hold on to this until we can finally settle our last battle, which is very nice. Now, going straight into 700, it's a massive tide jump, 15 years, and you're gonna notice a lot of things different. Like, Naruto has a laptop, and if you didn't realize, at the end of at one of the final panels on top of the Hokage mountain, there's an actual city, not a village, like a city you will find in your own hometown. It's crazy. Anyway, the chapter starts off with we get the first person we see is Shino, ironically, because Kishimoto doesn't care a shit about Shino. I'm gonna throw that out there right now. Shino is one of my most loved characters, but Kishimoto don't care anything about him. And we see that he's now the teacher of the Ninja Academy, and he has an interesting design. I'll say that. And basically, we get a look at most of the characters that are going to be, I guess, the main stars for part 3. And just basically, we get a look at all the children's of, you know, not Team 7, but the Konoha 11 minus, the people who aren't there. And the people who, got together, yada, yada, yada. Which is weird. I'm going to throw this out there. All these kids are around the same age, which means something's not right. I don't know what happened at the end of the last Naruto movie, but either this is a high coincidence, or at the end of that movie they had an R-rated hentai orgy. I'm just saying, because you know how awkward that is. Just what these 9, 7, how many number of females all pregnant at the same time. I'm just throwing that out there. And we get the first look at Naruto's son, and he resembles Naruto a lot. And we see this female, which is obviously Sakura's and Sasuke's daughter if you look at it, because the odd part is she looks like Karin. A lot of people have been saying that. We see Shikamaru's son. I'm not gonna say who the mother is, which we all know is Tamari. We saw that coming from a mile away. And Naruto's son is saying that he's going to go pull a prank if there's anyone that wants to join him. And this is where it gets weird. We see Ino's and Sai's child. I don't know if it's a boy. Never mind. It's a boy. And we see Choji's daughter. And this is where everything went left field. When I saw Choji's daughter was black, I had no idea what the frick happened. I was like, whoa, that's totally out there. And what the new Ino show their child is supposed to do? They're supposed to meet up and train, and yeah, Choji's daughter's not having that. She says, I'm just going to go hang out with Uncle. And Shikamaru's son, being Shikamaru's son, says, that junk's all too much work. I'm going to go home, basically. And this is something else that threw me off, which I guess everything that happened to her in the war, being freaking knocked out, being used to bring back Orochimaru, losing her curse mark, not capturing Kabuto, everything just hit her hard. Her uncle must have just chowed down on ice cream because she got big. She's like, she got big. I'm just gonna say that. And we see, this, like, the manga panda translation isn't as funny, but in the manga stream translation, when Ino's and Sai's child try to stop, Choji's daughter from leaving, she says, wait, you fatty. In the manga panda, she says, so what, bye. In the manga stream translation, she says, yeah, I'm fat, deal with it, sucker. That is amazing. I love that. Sorry about that. I'm still dying. But we see somebody placing a memorial flower at Neji's grave, and we see that it's Hinata and her daughter, who still looks like Naruto. So Naruhina is confirmed. We all knew this from the leaks and spoilers earlier this week. And she asks, will Uncle be happy with these flowers? And she tells him yes, because it's the same. They share the same name as you. And in the manga panda translation is weird, because she says he has the same name as sunflowers, which means that Hyuga means sunflower, I guess. But in the manga stream translation, it says, yes, he will love them because they have the same name as you, Himawari, because that's their daughter's name. And this is where I'm going to pause. How is their daughter named Himawari and their son name is Bolt? Completely left field. I get in the Japanese translation, his name is supposed to be Boruto, close to Naruto, so they just called it both. Same with not Naruto, but Sakura's and Sasuke's daughter, Salada. How her name is Sarada or Sarada in the Japanese translation, not salad or salada or salada. It's it's just English translations. All right, guys, we know how this goes. Anyway, we see that Naruto Himawari says she would like to come visit Neji's grave with her big brother next time. So Naruto, Himawari and Bolt aren't twins, so that's something to keep in mind because that may have some aspect later on in the third season coming out in spring 2015. And we see once you see the bandages and you hear a number above 100, you definitely know that's Rock Lee. We see Rock Lee training with his child. Who the mother is, no idea. It might be applied that it's Tenten, because in the next panel we see Tenten running a shop. She still has, all three of the sage's weapons, which is nice. But she can't sell her weapons because the world is peaceful right now. It's just no wars or anything. And we see that it's just irritating her. And Sarada, Sasuke's daughter, she pulling some straight up Hinata stalker stuff right now. Just not on the Hinata level, because Hinata did it out, admiration and love. Sarada looks pissed, just staring at Naruto, or Bolt, not Naruto. And we find out who, Shikamaru's wife is Tamari, of course, like I said. And we see Gaara. I don't know what the frick happened to Gaara's hairstyle. He looks suave, but it's just not the Gaara I know. Like, he has this nice, war military trench coat, this nice kempt freaking hairstyle. It's just like, Gaara, what happened to your spiky hair? Like, what happened? And speaking of people who change, what happened to Kankuro? This man looked like a straight criminal. Like, he turns the corner and it's like, he looks like he's going to say, "You want to buy some drugs, kid?" Like, just go back to that panel and look at it. Like, stop. Don't look at the phrase. Just look at him turn the corner, and you can see what I'm talking about. He looks like he's going to say, "Do you want to buy some drugs, kids?" We get a cut to a dog, Akamaru's child, which is funny that Kiba doesn't have a child, but Akamaru does. And we see that Kiba's wife has this cat fetish, I guess, because she like cats, which is weird because Kiba like dogs. So I don't know. And we see him he talking about Kakashi, how he just gave up being Hokage. He said the seven Hokage quit on his own. People say the smart hawks hide their claws, while smart shinobis hide their fangs. And he goes to ask Akamaru for confirmation. And this is a sad moment because Akamaru is like, he's dead. He's shivering. He looks like he's about to be put down. It's really sad. Really sad. And we see Ino, Sai, Choji, and I can't remember her name. Her name is Karui from the Storm Village. That's who Choji married, Karui. I don't know how that happened. Choji, my nigga, got the black girl. Good for you. Sai's the Sasuke, clone replacement, so I understand how that ended up with Ino. Moving on, not going to discuss this, and we see Asuma's child. There's a lot of controversy whether it's a boy or a girl. It is a girl, in my opinion, because you look at the second scene of her full body, you can clearly see breasts or the information that there might be breasts there. So it has to be a daughter. And we didn't get to see a lot of Asuma's child, but from the little dialogue we heard from them and what we've seen, I really like this character. The first scene, we see Asuma's picture and we see her praying, to her father, just give her most of them that it's about to go. I'm going to refer to her as a she because that's what I believe it is, a she. And we see Kurenai. Kurenai aged hard. She says, "You're late. Weren't you going to escort the seventh Hokage?" Which is weird. I guess Asuma's child is a Jonin or an Anbu rank at this point. Who knows? I can't say. And she tells him, no, today I'm going to follow the predecessors. I don't have to go early. And by predecessors, she's telling us that she's going to go hang with Guy Sensei and Kakashi Sensei, and that she's going to be away for 2 or 3 days, which is, I don't know why that just sunk with me. And immediately from that, we see Kakashi and Guy just reminiscing about life, and that they're going to go. That Kakashi wants to see the world right now, and Guy says, "Do you remember the first place we fought at? That was certainly dot dot dot. Kishimoto not giving us information because he's planning to do something with that in the third season." Yes, I'm just gonna throw that out there. And we see that guy's in the wheelchair and his right leg is bandaged just because of, going 8 gates, and his leg did technically turn to ash, so just throwing that out there. And we see the 5 ex Hokages, well, Gokages, and Unuki looks no better than Akamaru. He looks like he's needs to be put down as well. That's sad. Raikage still old, one arm bastard. Mei looks like she got a little chubbier. And Tsunade, I swear Tsunade has a fear of being old because she looks younger. She looks younger than she did in Shippuden and Part 1. She looks younger than that. This lady is like, she's 68. She's 68-year-old, guys. Look at that picture. She is 68. In Part 1, she was 53. Oh no, she's older than 68 because in Part 2 she should be 56 or 55. So in 15 years, she's 70 or 71 or something along that lines. Guys, she's old. and we see Mei complaining that, well, she says that if they're going to complain, she's going to complain about the lack of good men in this world, and that why she's still single. And Tsunade tells her that it's too late for us now. I don't know. Well, yeah, Mei got chubby and she's getting old, so it might be too late for her. Tsunade, you're 68. You're lying to every man you run across. So yes, it's too late for you. And we immediately get a cut to Killer B, who got this nice Rick Ross beard going. And we see him on top of Hachibi saying that he should go meet Naruto, every now and then, because just sitting in this waterfall meditating is not his style. And that, and A-Tail tells him that he's a busy person right now. He's a Hokage. He can't just go playing around like you, Mr. Rapper. And this is where we see an interesting conflict, because Bolt. Well, before I go into that, we see Shizune. Shizune still looks young as hell. Nice. We see Shikamaru, who looks just like his father, sorta. Got a little goatee and everything, which is nice. And we see Udon Muegi telling Naruto about something that Bolt did. And it's basically what Konohamaru and what Naruto both did when they were younger, which is paint over the Hokage's faces. And the paint he wrote on each of their faces, actually, I'll get to that first because I want to talk about the conflict. The conflict here is that Bolt, I'm sorry, hates his father. Not his father, but he hates Hokages. And in turn, he has a bad relationship with his father because his father doesn't give him enough attention. And that's why he's doing this. And that right there is a major conflict they could use in a third season. The whole conflict of not getting enough love from his father, and the fact that he hates the Hokages, something completely opposite of what Naruto was. Naruto loved Hokage. His dream was to become Hokage. That is not Bolt's dream or aspiration. And all right, the paint he wrote on each Hokage's face. Hashirama is Hashirama, I believe it says, is idiot. Toriyama in the manga Panda's translation says stupid. Hiruzen says perv. Minato says geezer because it's his grandfather. Tsunade says old hag, and we don't see if he put anything on Kakashi's face. And we see that he's doing this just so he can get his dad's attention. He even says so by saying, "Dad's going to come soon." And we see he pulls out a shuriken. I don't know what he's planning to do with it. And Naruto grabs his arm, telling him to, cut it out, to just stop being stupid. And this is where we see his name for the first time. That is Bolt. And Bolt tells him it's no fair using the flicker jutsu, the Shunshin no jutsu, the teleport, the body flicker jutsu to teleport up there and stop him. And this is assassin because he tells him stop acting like a child. You know that I'm going to have a meeting soon, and that you need to clean this mess up. And this is where we see Bolt just saying, "Then you help me do it." And we see that connects Naruto. That actually hits Naruto deep down. And we finally see Konohamaru. And Konohamaru turned out to be like Ruka. He's serious. Ruka's all old and laid back, talking about his father is always busy. He's looking for ways to, get attention from him. And we just see Konohamaru. He looks different. He doesn't have the goggles. He has the headbands. He still has the scarf, but he's just a more serious person right now. He's really become like Iruka. He's not like Asuma or Hiruzen. He's not laid back like them. He's just completely serious. And then we see Bolt and Naruto having a conversation, and Naruto tells him that, I am the Hokage, and as that, everybody in the village are like my family. So I won't always have the time to be just your father, and you have to understand that. And that I know it's hard for you, but you must learn to endure it, because you are a ninja, aren't you? Which is an interesting talk, but at the same time, that's not going to stop the conflict between Bolt not getting enough attention from his father, and the fact that he hates the Hokage because of the position his father is in, because he's Hokage and he can't get his father's attention. That is why he hates it. And we see Salada still stalking, monitoring, I'm gonna say, Bolt from a distance. And she walks home, and we see Sakura, whose hair is it's not kempt like in the last Naruto movie. It's spiky again, as we normally know it. And she doesn't look too old. She actually looks good for her age. And the first thing you notice is she has boobies. So basically, Sasuke's last gift to her before he went to roam the world again was he put his right hand on each one, and he said planetary construction. That is a horrible joke. I understand she grew breasts because of childbirth. Don't kill me. Don't kill me, please. I just had to say that joke. And we see that Sakura is complaining to her mom, says that guys are really stupid, and Sakura immediately equates this that she's talking about Bolt. And this is where we get this this smirk from her saying, but actually he resembles me a little, which is interesting that she's curious enough to stalk and monitor him, but at the same time it's not out of hate. It's because she feels like they have some similarities somehow. I don't know what to equate that to. It can't. I don't think it's a transmigration of Ashura and Andrew, because that should stop with Sasuke and Naruto. But it's something. And we see that we see Sasuke roaming around, and he looks a lot like his outfit like a character from the Sacred Blacksmith. I can't remember his name, but one of the main characters. I like it. I really love his design. He looks a lot like Madara, a lot, and we see that he still has katana, and I believe he doesn't have his left arm still. Possibly, I don't know. We don't get to see his left side, and we finally get to see the next Gokages, the next five Kages. Five Kages being Inoki's granddaughter. I don't remember her name. Chojiru, the last of the seven swordsmen, and I guess technically the last of the seven swordsmen, and the Misukage's old, protector. We don't get to see who's his, assistant is, his bodyguard, I guess. You don't see who his is. We see Dari is the next Raikage. We see Gaara, of course. Gaara still Kazekage. You'll see that the next Hokage is Naruto, indeed. and his advisor slash bodyguard is Shikamaru. And this this is this is amazing right here. The last page is where we see what Bolt wrote on Naruto's face. It's it's a One Piece logo. The skull and crossbow with the straw hat. And if you didn't read One Piece this week, you 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 might want to just look at the first page. The first page, the cover page, shows Luffy eating ramen, Naruto's signature, favorite food, across with somebody who's eating Luffy's favorite food, who's wearing some jumpsuit and sandals. We don't get to see his face because Nami is covering it with her, the food tray. Nami's dress is covered with the Hidden Leaf logo. The O in One Piece is replaced with the Hidden Leaf symbol. The I is replaced with it's not Luffy this time, it's Naruto. And he's eating Luffy on the side there's a fox, and on the fox there's a shrimp, logo signifies like the ramen symbol. And it's just it's very nice to see that these two artists who's been friends and rival for so long still come together in Naruto's last moment to show respect to each other. And basically, this is Kishimoto's way of saying, now that my manga is over, go read my friend's manga, One Piece, which I might do now. I might just do. And we see that the Nine-Tailed Fox is still asleep from giving Naruto the chakra, which is crazy, because that means he's been asleep for 15 years. Like, hello? Oh yeah, and before I forget, the village is not called the village hidden in the leaves. It's called the village of the dancing leaves, which is interesting. And like I said, in that last panel, there's a city, an actual city on top of the mountain. Just gonna leave y'all to, absorb that. And the final page says, once upon a time, there was a fox spirit with 9 tails. A boy had the fox sealed inside him, and the two spent a long time together. The boy with the fox spirit sealed inside. Wait, I'm sorry, I messed up. A new calamity, the Jubi, was revived by the boy, but the boy became a shinobi, and together with the fox spirit and the other shinobi, they became one and succeeded in sealing it. The boy with the fox spirit sealed inside him was the son of the 4th Hokage. Now he is called the 7th Hokage. And I'm happy that I got to read Naruto for the 15 years it's been out. It's been an amazing ride. Before I get into the next thing I want to talk about, I want to thank everybody who's been watching my review ever since I started it back in the Ninja Wars saga. I want to thank all you and thank everybody who subscribed to me, thus far, who's been supporting me and stuff, watching my videos, all the people who leave a like, all the people who've been leaving feedback and stuff right now. I appreciate it all, and it's been amazing. Just Naruto in general, reviewing it. And I don't know what to do from here. I'm still gonna have my gaming stuff, of course, but I might do other manga reviews of mangas I like or mangas I find that are popular that I also like. I don't know, but again, thank you all. And I guess the last thing I want to talk about is just a little, skepticism of the abilities of some of these children. Because if you think about it, some of these children could be very powerful. And I'm gonna just blow through this. First one I'm gonna start off with is Sarada or Salada, whatever. She's going to be a strong child. I heard a lot of people just joking about, oh, she doesn't adopt her mother's uselessness. Let's put that aside. Remember, she has her mother's strength. Sakura's overwhelming monster strength. She could have that. Don't forget, Sakura was mainly a genjutsu type user to begin with, so not only she has that going for her. She is Sasuke's daughter, so she has the Sharingan, and Kishimoto wanted to, she could possibly awaken some form of Rinnegan somehow, some way. Sasuke could probably do that to her or whatever. She's gonna have. She could learn the Chidori from her father. And look at this. Chidori combined with Sakura monster strength. You get pierced by that. That's game over because you're gonna get pierced and slammed dead into the ground, creating a lightning crater. Just throwing that out there. Ino, Ino's child, Ino and Sai child. This one is interesting because, and what I was thinking was, she can, she, whatever could use the paint to, inflict the mind control. Like some of the paint, if the paint touched them, it marks them and makes them be able to be under the mind control. Because these children have a lot to a lot of stuff going for them, a lot of combination they could create, and they have they have a lot of shoes they need to fill. They're going to be swole, possibly. The reason I say possibly for this child is because it is Sai's child who's been irrelevant for a while. And speaking of irrelevant, we see nothing to Yamato in this entire chapter, just throwing that out there. Moving on. Bolt and Himawari, that's interesting because we can't, their eyes are like Naruto's, so we can't tell if they're going to have the Byakugan. They might not. They might possibly. It's impossible to say, just off of this one chapter. We don't know their abilities, but they both can have the Rasengan. They both can have, Hyuga techniques, Shadow Clone. They can learn Sage Mode. They have the whiskers, so it might be they might have, some of the Nine Tails chakra inside them. Whatever the case is, it's just there's a lot going for them as well. Asuma's daughter, that's going to be a swole person, all right? She's already hanging out with Kakashi and Guy. That right there going to make her swole. But she has Asuma, which is, that's the third Hokage's son. Blood thrown through her. Ash style, wind style, the little chakra blaze, Kuronai's Genjutsu skill. That's going to be a swole child. Who's next? Who next? Choji child. Get rid of the cockiness, laziness. It's going to be swole because lightning human boulder, lightning butterfly mode. Enough said. That's going to hurt. You know it will. Imagine regular butterfly punch hurt. Imagine getting hit by a lightning variant of that. That's going to hurt a lot. That's basically like a Chidori infused death. And next child, Shikadai, Shikamaru's and Tamari's child. They have a lot going for them, alright? Wind style, shadow possession jutsu. That right there alone is swole. But don't forget, he could learn stuff from his uncle Gaara. He could learn stuff from his uncle Kankuro. He has a lot going for them, but basically just the wind style mixed with the shadow possession jutsu. So you can do like wind style, shadow strangle, something like that. There's a lot of potential there. And I don't think I'm forgetting anybody else's child. I don't think I am. Let's see, Bolt, Himawari, Sarada, Choji's child, Ino's child, Shikamaru's child. That's the Ino Shikacho right there. Asuma's child. I think that's all. I'm not going to talk about Akamaru's puppy because oh no, there's one I forgot. The main one, Rock Lee's child. I don't know what his name is going to be, but that person is going to be swole. Why? Because Rock Lee and Guy Sensei are swole. Enough said. That's all you gotta say. Rock Lee's child, you already know it's gonna be swole. Rock Lee was a master of not a master, but you saw Drunk Lee. You see how swole that guy is. You know how swole regular Lee is. You saw how swole Guy Sensei is. You act like Lee is not gonna train him to be as strong as him and Guy Sensei. That kid is going to be kicking ass. I'm sorry. Okay. That's the end of the review. That's all the children I can think of. Well, that's all we've been shown so far. Kiba might actually have a child. Shino might have a child. We don't know. this has always been shown. We guys wait for third season or a series or whatever to come out before we, just in case there might be more. Because I don't, I find it hard to believe that Gara doesn't have a child. Actually, now I take that back. Looking at his hairstyle, I'm not shocked he doesn't have a child and that he's single. Anyways, and in this review here, before I get any crazier, that has been long as hell. I might actually break this down into two different videos or not. I don't know. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.